Using Planoly is a great way to have an amazing Instagram feed. It lets you organize your photos in a format that looks visually appealing. It also lets you see if you have diversified your posts. So, have you gone in and added, you know, drinks or food or a mixture of your combination of what you're going to do? It also allows you to kind of move around images so that you can make sure that things look nice together. So as you see, there's something a little bit off here. So a couple things to know when you're using Planoly. It will pull some of the latest posts that you have put out there. However, if you add more images to Planoly, this grid moves around. But when you're on Instagram, you want to plan things out, especially if you're doing different kinds of posting on Instagram. So since you can't see the full feed on Planoly, you're going to want to go to your Instagram feed. So here we are to the Pages feed. We're looking at this, and we've done some things in this feed that should be centered. For example, we know that we wanted this photo to be here, this photo to be in the center, and then this photo to be on the right-hand side. If you scroll down to our page, there's some key elements that you can notice, and it looks fine and nice here, but we definitely wanted, this to be in the center there. We wanted this to be in the center of that one. So we wanted things to be mixed around differently. When we first opened the brand, one of my suggestions is to take, if you don't have that much content, take one photo and cut it up. So we literally got 3 days of posts out of that. When you're starting off your page from nothing, you have very little followers. And if you are starting to rebrand your page, you kind of want to slowly move in and start building up your algorithm so that people are now seeing you're posting great things, and you build in slowly. And of course, it takes some time to get a ton of views. So having these kind of broken down photos is completely fine. But as you notice, this should have been 1, 2, 3 on a line to really showcase that. As well as here, we did a 9-block cutout of the reveal of this restaurant. And this can work for any brand, whether you are a fashion brand or a business coach or a fitness brand, a real estate agent. You could do reveals like that to have more content. But the thing is, you're going to have to make sure that your feed is keeping even. So we know by looking at this that we need to move our feed over 2 so that these 2 go down here, and then we have a block of 3. And then everything will be even. So we go up to here, and usually I like to take identifying elements. So this egg thing is kind of an identifying element. It's different from what we're putting on our feed, and that came up. Or maybe this picture. This picture does not have to do really much with the restaurant or the actual location, but this restaurant does use Mexican and Latin inspired tapas, so we did some sort of element that kind of represents that style. So we know that if we have to move these images 2 over, the eggs will be in the center, and then these will be over here on the right-hand side. So we go back to our Planoly, and for sake of designing and organizing the page, remember I said that this photo needed to be over more. So what we're going to do is, if we know that that needs to be over 2 posts, we are going to go in here, and actually so we need to make sure that there's 2 posts right here so that stays stationary there. So right now I'm just going to take whatever is on my desktop and just put some sort of image on there just to show you the gist of what I mean. So I'm going to go in there, and let's take this random one on the page. Usually you post some things that are relevant to that brand, but for right now we're just going to add this random thing and have that be even on our page. So we need to post another piece because that didn't move over to the right place. So let's just go in and throw in that same thing again. Let's refresh, Sometimes these apps might be a little quirky. Yep, and like I said, a little quirky. It took us to another client's page. So we just dropped in a bunch of things here that don't necessarily match the flow, but let's do this again. Let's add in a photo to make sure that that goes over. So now we go and we look at our feed and we see that things are aligned. So we want to use this as a reference point. So for example, we're going to go in here and see kind of the feel of that. Maybe we want to move things around. So this is kind of one of the random ones that we put in there. So we want to move that. Maybe we want to drag this down here. So you want to balance out the pages, and sometimes this is like a Tetris board and you want to move it around. So I kind of like how that looks there, but there's something I'm not sure about these two. And also, since it's a filler photo, I'm not sure if I want to add, two filler photos really quickly after one another. So maybe I want to mix that up, and maybe I want to move these. So we've scheduled these posts out already. So I'm going to see what date this is instead of unscheduling them all. So that's the 20th, and this one was the 23rd. So I'm going to move that to the 20th and move this to the 23rd. Yeah, and I think I like that layout better. That looks nice together. I do like, there's a circular design on her dress. So, and then this is angled to the left. So generally we want to put that on the right. And so now we have that with all circles. And it kind of looks like a cool flow. Except for now we have two filler photos which aren't really branded for the restaurant next to each other. So we want to add something in to mix that up. So how about we add in some food? We might want to add in some drinks so that it's not all just food, but we want to make sure that we're adding different items on here. So I think that that kind of looks cool. So I like the layout of this. We do have some quotes also that we are going to be posting and using in there. So we're going to take a look at some of our quotes. And Mother's Day is coming up, so maybe the day before Mother's Day we post this, forget the flowers, bring me tacos. It's kind of relevant. Some people would love Mother's Day flowers, but some people wouldn't mind tacos. And so let's see if this one matches. And then sometimes when you're creating your graphic quote posts, they might be too dark of a background or, something of that nature. So let's see how this looks. Is that too dark? Possibly, because now, there's a little bit of darkness in this, a little bit of darkness in these two, but now that is way too dark. So we want to add posts that kind of have the same color and lighting as the other posts. So if we were going to use this photo here with this kind of darker image, like those would look good together. But right now, the images that we are using are ones that were taken around 5. So it's not full lighting, but it is still medium lighting. So when you're thinking about the times a day that you're going to do your photo shoots, think about, are you doing morning, evening, or afternoon shoots, and the times, the color of the lighting that you're going to get, that's going to make a decision on the kinds of filler photos that you find or the kind of quote photos that you're going to find. So you want it all on your Instagram feed to have a really nice layout, because as you know, when you go to your Instagram pages or to other people's Instagram pages, if somebody has a really great layout, you're more prone to follow that page if the feed looks cool. You might like a few photos that you see in a feed, or if your friends share it, but to actually, be intrigued to go to the page and to hit that follow button, you have to either really love the brand or love the vibe that they're creating. So here are some tips on how to effectively use Planoly and Instagram to have an amazing feed and capture your perfect client by really highlighting your brand story and creating a beautiful aesthetic. Remember, it's all about the narrative. My name's Farhana Cannon, and I'm the founder of iMedia Exposure. Be sure to follow us at iMedia Exposure on all of the platforms of your choice. We post lots of different tips and videos to help you really capture your audience and get more sales online. Hope this was helpful. Bye.